All right. Isaiah and I have a little story, a little rant, if you will. I know it's been a while since I've gone on a rant and I've crashed out, as the kids say these days, but I'm going to go ahead and take a minute here to crash out, as the youngins have been saying. And Isaiah and I go to the gym yesterday, and we probably got asked the same 5 questions that we have answered probably 20 times a day for the last 365 days. Between our athletes, between what we post on social media, between everything that we do, we literally had the same 5 questions asked to us. And it was actually shocking, one, because we try really hard to make it known that we do this for a living. We love what we do, and we're very good at what we do. And we also give a ton of free content out. And despite that, despite us serving the people, the greater good, trying to help the humans of planet Earth have healthy needs, the audacity of these individuals to not consume a molecule of information to allow them to help themselves, such that they have to interrupt our entire workout to answer their questions about knee pain. Now, I will say this. If you are that person, you're listening, we love you. We do appreciate the support. This isn't about you. This is about a bigger problem that Isaiah and I deal with often. And that is that regardless of how many times we say the same thing, the same assumptions, the same hypotheses, the same theories about this stuff is still out there. And it's shocking because every freaking day we sit down for 25 or 30 minutes and yap it out, or so you think, such that you guys think like, oh, I don't have to listen to this. I just say the same thing every day, whatever else. Obviously you do. Because reading the little cliff notes in the description or the comment section isn't working. And maybe let me say this. Maybe it's not our podcast, people. Like if you're listening to this, maybe this isn't you. It probably is likely that this isn't you. It's more than likely that if you listen to these podcasts every day for 30 minutes, that this is not you. So let me say this. I'm not yelling at you. I'm venting to you. My beloved listeners, I'm venting to you because in the same way Isaiah would vent to me, or I'd vent to him, or I'd vent to my girlfriend, like it's shocking the level of misunderstanding and the level of misinformation, the volume of misinformation out there, because we literally do our damnedest to make sure that there is not an iota of information that is not covered about these 5 questions that we get all the time, being namely knee pain and tendon pain, specifically tendon pain. I am so confident in my ability to coach this specific thing that I literally could guarantee with probably 96% accuracy, 96% certainty that I could fix someone's patella tendinopathy, Achilles tendinopathy, or quad tendinopathy.
It's higher.
I know, but I'm just saying off the top of my head, it's 96%. I'm giving a buffer. I'm giving standard deviation, standard error of estimate, and a standard deviation here. But yeah, it's probably like 99% certainty. Yeah. If you do exactly what we say, you will get better. You will. You won't have tendon pain. That's how good we have gotten at doing it. Because I've been doing it for like 6 or 7 years, and Isaiah's been doing it for around that same time too. Maybe I'm a year longer than him in this line of research. And
no, 8, bro. 8 years.
8? Oh, it's 2025. 2017. Yeah, I've been doing this for 8 years, dude. And I started doing it before Isaiah. I started researching this problem when I was actually like 14, but really figuring it out and having the solution, because we have the solution. It's not like this is something that isn't well documented. We have very carefully documented these successes, and captured these and taken the data down on this, and it's like objective. We don't have to wonder. We have the data that says this works. This is the solution.
And we've made like 4 guides, video guides on it.
Oh, I hadn't even gotten to that. How many times, Isaiah, have you made a video or something, a dedicated YouTube video a year? So, do you think that we do this?
I've made, I believe, 3 in-depth video guides, literally saying everything I know about knee pain. I think we've had 3 to 4 podcasts about knee pain. Literally, if you Google Isaiah Rivera knee pain, something will come up.
Or John Evans knee pain or
And I do
THP knee
wanna I
pain.
do wanna go on a side rant. This is about our viewers. Um, one of the common hate comments that we get is you guys just post about the same things over and over and over again. But apparently it's not enough. And I say that as a joke, but what John is describing is actually the reason that we do post about the same things over and over again. My good mentor Alex Hermosi, he says we need to be reminded more than we need to be taught. Also, there's a lot of people, specifically billions with a B, of people that probably want to get more athletic. There's probably in the hundreds of millions or tens of millions of people that want to jump higher. And our followings are not that big. And inevitably, as you post a lot, you reach new people, and it's new people consuming your content. And a big reason we make the content that we do is to educate those new people coming in. So we are well aware that we're posting about the same things over and over again, but there's a reason, and it's still not enough. It's obviously still not enough.
If it was enough, if it were enough, I wouldn't have to actively invest time or energy into my business.
Yeah.
But I am constantly out there like a damn knight, slaying the evil dark lords of the internet who make it their objective to purvey false, misinformative, incorrect information about tendons. And it used to drive me insane, literally insane. You can ask Isaiah the number of times I've literally wanted to punch someone in the face who posted something on the internet that was beyond incorrect or just publicly slander them is a multitude of times. And I've gotten way better about it. Now I actually say, you know what? Isaiah's right. We need to remind people more than we teach them. Okay. And I have taken that to heart, and it's helped me a lot. It helped me personally with my anger issues towards misinformation, because I personally was impacted by misinformation. I was the kid who tried the reverse sled walks. I tried the forward sled walks. I did it because Dan Back had it on his an article on his page in 2015, and I literally couldn't high jump or do plyos in 2015 when I was training for the decathlon. I couldn't do anything. So I was like, oh, let me try cross massage because I tried that. Oh, let me try squatting because squatting seems like the answer. Oh, deep squatting. Let me try deep squatting because deep squatting seems like the answer. Oh, let me try mobility work. Mobility work seems like the answer. And even isometrics in the
Foam
form
rolling,
foam
stretching,
rolling, stretching. Like I tried literally
TKEs.
TKEs. Yeah. And it's not even necessarily that any of those things are wrong, but it's that outside of a system, they do not work. I don't care what you tell me. I don't care who you are. They do not work. They don't. They have to be done inside of a correct load management protocol or program where you correctly build in explosive activity over a period of time where you're building up load tolerance. And if you do not do that correctly, you will not get out of pain. And if you do not know how to manage a flare up, you will not get out of pain, and you will not make improvement. And I am with 99% certainty, I can say that because we have the data that says it's 99% certain. So I'm not just making this up. I think a lot of people will be like, I guarantee, blah, blah, blah. No, literally, I can damn near with 100% certainty, damn near 100%, make that guarantee. And it is beyond infuriating when people come up to us in the middle of our workout when I'm trying to max him out, right, in a back squat and collect data. And okay, to their credit, Isaiah made this point, we can't go to commercial gyms anymore. We can't. We just don't have that luxury anymore. Unfortunately, Isaiah has successfully made himself a B-list celebrity to the point that if we go somewhere, he will get stopped, especially in Florida. And we've realized that, and we take accountability for that. But it is still frustrating when we're trying to achieve something in the weight room or like in a power clean. And I'm talking literally like if I were working in Altus and they were testing their 100-meter dash, where they were about to do a 100-meter semifinal or final, and I had the balls to walk up to one of them and
How do you get rid of knee pain? How do you get rid of Achilles tendinopathy?
Yeah, how do you get rid of Achilles tendinopathy? I had the balls to walk up to someone and say that. They literally might tackle me or suplex me into the floor. Like the coaches, there was one time during a session, a non-important session, where the coach wasn't even there. and they were resting for 6 minutes, chilling in the shade. And I was like, hey guys, do you mind if I ask you a question? And they're like, yeah, sure, it's fine. And it was Jeremy Dodson and Javid Best. And I said, hey, what does it feel like to run really fast? It wasn't like, how do you run faster? It was like a very well thought out question that no one had really answered, and they probably had never been asked. And it was like, what does it feel like to run 12 meters per second? Like, what does that feel like? Does it feel like your feet are just like breaking? What is it like? Does it feel like your shin is going to snap in half? Do you feel it in your tendons? Do you feel it in your muscles? Like, what does it feel like? And I always thought that was an interesting question, because that at the end of the day is a major feedback mechanism that we don't get if we don't have that access to that speed or power. So this is, mind you, this is an unimportant, completely irrelevant practice with 2 athletes on the track. There's like 30 guys missing. It's not a high quality day, not a high priority day. And, they answer me whatever, I move on with my day. So I go into the office and I tell good old Stewie McMillan, what I asked the athletes, because I wanted some more clarification, because I'm an intern, I'm trying to learn. It's totally inside the bounds of what I thought was appropriate. Stu took the time, with the most eloquent, inappropriate verbiage, to berate me in front of all the other interns, all 8 of us, and 2 other coaches. And I just sat there like, I don't like criticism in general. I certainly don't like it from someone that I really respect. And I certainly don't like it when I'm being yelled at. Like, I just don't appreciate that in a group. I don't like it. I don't like it. And I don't do that to my athletes. I will joke with them. Like, I'll tell Isaiah to fire him up. I'll be like, I don't think you can do this. Or I'll be like, dude, you're a bum. Like, you can't do this. And he knows that, right? But this is someone who I've known for 2 months berating me for like no reason to be doing that. You could have simply said, hey, it's all right. Hey, next time, do you mind not doing that? Just because I want them to focus on the session. Instead, it was, what did you do? I want to make it beyond clear. Never, ever speak to my athletes when I am coaching. And it was like almost identical like that, plus another 5 minutes of being embarrassed in front of everyone.
So crazy.
And I was just like, oh shit. So we didn't do that, because I'm not that type of person. Maybe I'm doing that now on the horn, but it's more about why we feel the need to communicate things differently a bunch of times. Not only communicate it many times, but communicate it many different ways, because people learn differently, right? Some people learn by seeing it. Some people learn by experiencing it. Some people learn by seeing it. And that's why we take a lot of pride in doing what he just said, reminding more than we teach. And I think that if we were better at doing that and we reach more people, we'd have a lot more of a successful business. But unfortunately, we're obviously not that good at it. Obviously, our ads don't work, because when I ask people, who do you know what THP is? When Isaiah gets approached, they say no.
Yeah.
That's a failure on our part.
This is insane.
That's a failure on our part, like objectively. And no matter how many times you wear these shirts, he literally said, one of the kids said, do you have coaching? Yes, we have coaching. This might come as a surprise to you, but that's why we do this podcast, is so that we can help our athletes get better. And if you're interested in working with us, this is a platform where you can learn. And if you have more questions or you want more help, you can work with us. And it is our passion. It is what we love. It's how we have been able to, pay for different things in our life. And we've been able and fortunate enough, and you guys have trusted us enough, where we've been lucky enough to make a business out of it. But I want to be abundantly clear. If you're watching this because of Isaiah Rivera, he does have a coaching service that has been polished over the last 7 years that we've been trying to make known. And there are other competitors out there who absolutely trounce us. I'm talking, we don't deserve to lick their boots. Okay. We don't deserve to lick their boots. That is how much they trounce us in terms of business. I mean, it is truly embarrassing on our part. Like, we're getting absolutely shit on out here. But
we're fighting.
We're fighting the war against bad information, bad jump training, bad coaching, and we have to, in a sense, compete. That's the nature of business. You have to compete. We started this to help a lot of people, and it turned out to be, a pretty damn good product. And we've been, again, lucky enough that you guys trust us to work with you. And thank you. Any of you who are watching this and have trusted us and allowed us to coach you. We don't take that for granted. I don't take it lightly. When someone says they worked with me, I make it an effort to build a personal connection with them. Like Sawyer walked up to me one day and I was like, dude, thank you for like trusting us for so many years to work with you and still sticking with us. I really genuinely take that to heart, and it means a lot to me. So if you're one of our athletes, again, thank you. But on this note, that's why we do what we do. That's why we have to cover this over and over again. And I'm going to take now, I've talked a lot. I've yapped because I had a lot of emotions about this. But I'm going to let Isaiah take the next minute to quickly summarize the important things to do when you have tendon pain.
I think I'm going to title this video "Rant plus Knee Pain Guide" at the end. All right.
John crashes out.
Right. I'm going to give you the TLDR. First thing, stop doing what hurts. If you're watching this, you're probably having knee pain because you jumped too much, or you're playing basketball, or you're playing volleyball. And this is the most important step that most people don't do. And if they do, they don't do it correctly, but it's the easiest step. Stop doing what hurts. If jumping hurts, stop jumping. If playing basketball hurts, stop playing basketball. If playing volleyball hurts, stop playing volleyball.
What about sprinting?
Sprinting hurts, stop sprinting.
What about ollies?
If ollies hurt, stop doing ollies.
What if my coach told me that I have to go do hurdles today?
Tell him no.
What about if THP said I'm supposed to do power cleans and squats?
Say no and text the group chat.
Thanks, coach.
You're welcome.
Then what?
By the way, if you're in a position where you're playing a team sport, you're going to improve more by taking 3 months off and focusing on that, potentially getting cut from the team or whatever it is, and you will improve infinitely more. Become a different athlete. You're going to jump higher, run faster, and you're going to get so good that you will make the team the next year. Matter of fact, you're going to start. Matter of fact, you might get a college offer because you got so good, because you decided.
Isaiah has single-handedly gotten pro offers after not playing a lick of college basketball.
Yeah.
People have walked up to Isaiah to offer him to play overseas without really ever seeing him play basketball.
There was a college coach who knew the UCF coach personally that said he can do something for me. That he can get me a good shot on making the team from playing. I think it was a pro-am game I played in, and I dropped 20. And that was after, getting cut all the way through my junior year. Then it was a bench warmer, 6-man type role player my senior year. Yeah. So, and what's crazy is I probably would have played college basketball if somebody had been making a video like this and told me to stop playing for a little bit.
I'm glad that I'm glad that didn't. They didn't.
Yeah, I'm glad it didn't happen either. But that's step number 1. Stop doing what hurts. Step number 2, find a provocative test. Do it every single morning. Rate your pain from 1 to 10. 3 is a dull ache. 4 is more of a sharp pain. 2 is feel something there, some kind of painful sensation that's not very bad. And what I want you to do, if it's higher than like a 5 out of 10 on that morning pain test, you're going to do isos every single day. So find any knee extension movement where you're at about 70% of your maximum voluntary contraction in an isometric hold, knee extension isometric hold. Do that for 3 to 5 sets of 30 to 45 seconds every 6 hours. We won't go into the why because we're doing a TLDR, but that's going to decrease your knee pain. You're at the right intensity, duration, load if pain drops after those 3 to 5 sets. Then what you're going to notice is that morning pain test will be going down. Once it gets to like a 4 or 5 out of 10, it's time to start squatting every other day. Slow tempo, 3 to 4 seconds down, 4 seconds up. Start with the bar at 20 pounds every session. If you know what you're doing, you can use pain as a guide. So try to stick to no higher than a 3 out of 10 while you're doing the reps. You can do that every other day until you can squat pretty heavy. For most people, that's around the 200-pound mark. Once you can do that, you're going to start bleeding in. Drops. Mind you, you're still going to be doing ISOs as a warm-up, and then on the days you're not squatting, you're still doing them 3 times a day. Then you're going to add in drops. Progress that. It'll be like a 3-day rollover. So drops, lift, ISOs, drops, lift, ISO. Progress that up to where you can drop from a pretty high height. Once you can do that, bleed in jumps. Around this point, you can start playing your sport without jumping. So you can go play basketball, just don't do max effort jumps. You can go play
Twice a week.
volleyball, but don't be spiking the ball. Play the, what is it called? The backcourt? Is that the
libero? Setter and libero.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Play that role in your volleyball team. And then over time, what you'll find is you're going to be able to jump at max effort. You should still be doing slow squats. So it's once you can do that, then you can go back to normal training. You can continue bleeding in your sport, the frequency and intensity that you're playing at, the duration. This is where it gets complicated and where coaching is important. That return to play aspect. Most people can get through the ISOs, the quarter squats, maybe even the drops. Most people don't have the knowledge or discipline to get to the point of doing drops, to getting back to your sport or dunking. That usually takes,
or managing flare-ups. That's the other big one. A lot of people don't know how to manage, because here's the thing. If you're in a crippling pain, you've been crippling pain for a long time, you basically have to go through the progression.
Yeah.
And that could take anywhere from like a month to 3 months. Right. But once you go through that, the big fear is, what if it comes back? And Isaiah used to have this fear all the time. Understanding how to bridge that gap is mega important, and learning that skill is mega important. And that is what we take a lot of time to help our athletes learn. And if you're on the service, you probably know this. We'll tell you, stop doing that. Like if you're doing this and we told you to play twice a week and you're playing 3 times, we're going to say, we didn't tell you to do that. You're not doing THP. You're not doing load management, because load management means you're managing the load. You're doing a certain amount of something one day and a certain amount of something another. You're managing it. You're not just, everything's not high all the time. If you can imagine a bar graph, right? If you can visualize that. It's high one day, one high bar one day, and the next day is lower bar, and the next day is lower bar, right? And it's understanding how to progress that back so that all of the bars come up across those days, so that you're closer to being ready to play at high level. And understanding too the demands, right? Because if you think of a bar graph, or if this load is the bar graph, let's say that your bar on a given day is way above your capacity, right? Like your capacity might be here, and then you're playing way up here, right? You're above the capacity, you're going to go the other direction. The key is to stay below that capacity and to drive that capacity up over time, and understand when you do make a mistake, you overfill that bucket, you go a little too far, you push a little too much, how to get back to being pain-free for the most part. So that's really where the delicate changes to volume and intensity are really important. And again, we talked about this a lot. If you're listening to this, I hope you enjoyed the rant. I hope you enjoyed my crash out, and I hope that it was worth your time.
Also, to the point of how long it can take, I was watching this video. Where is it? I think I might have found it. It's the study is Bayer AJSM 2015. If you look that up on Google Scholar, it'll
What's
pop
all
up.
that? I don't know what all that is.
Oh, the other one, Agrigard A in review. I don't know what the hell. Those here I'll screen share the video.
Is it at all? What are you talking? Yeah, let me see what you're talking about.
Know.
I'm kind of curious.
Look up this right here. This is the study, and then the other study I was talking about was
Peter Magnuson. Oh, it's et al. So this is a paper under review by Agrigard, probably Anderson, Agrigard et al. Means, and a bunch of other people.
Oh, nice.
He's just the lead researcher on it.
And this is the other one.
Know.
Boom.
Look at that.
But they were basically looking at tendons, doing different interventions. And what they saw, they would test tendons, and this is like the people were doing the intervention for a year. At a year, the tendon still wasn't back to healthy levels. Mind you, it was really close to, but it still wasn't close, or it still wasn't fully healthy. And it's a testament to, you need to be very careful. If you mess up the process, you can restart the process, and it takes a long time. It takes a long freaking time for tendons to heal. Mind you, you can feel good enough to get back to dunking and all that stuff within a few months. But the full process takes a long time, and it is. I don't even know anybody that's been able to do it by themselves. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think I would have been able to do it by myself. Even if you told me all the information, like if you told me step 1 through 10, exactly what I needed to do, the
You just
accountability
lack
factor.
discipline. Well,
The
we've seen that
accountability.
happen so many times. We've seen that
Yeah,
happen so many times. We'll tell guys exactly what to do, and they still do it wrong. It's shocking. Again,
yeah.
shocking, which is why we feel the need to go over this over and over and over again. I've literally tried to handhold, like, this is what you do these times of day, this much. Let me know when you get here. Don't do anything else. Hey, I went out and played basketball today. My knees are a 4 out of 10. What do I do? Well, I mean, it's saying your knees are a 5 out of 10 because you played basketball yesterday. You did what I didn't tell you to do. Well, I didn't know that. Well, I told you not to do anything. What did you think I meant by that? What did you think I meant by that? Oh, I thought you meant don't jump. No, I meant don't do anything. Just do the ISOs. And they're like, but that's so anti-intuitive compared to like performance training. And I'm like, I'm not saying it's necessarily performance training. We're doing the best we can. So you just have to understand that and understand that it is a process and it does take time, and you will eventually improve if you're patient. But if you're willing, or if you're not willing to do that and you want to try to figure it out on your own, then yeah, sometimes people make mistakes and you might not get it right. It's okay. It happens. We're still here. If that's you, or you've had to leave and come back, like we've had athletes who have been through 4 of my lectures every year at dunk camp when I do this lecture that still come to us for us to coach them. And that's fine. Sometimes you need a little bit of help. You might have it 85% of the way, and having a third, removed, unbiased third party give you an honest opinion can be really, really helpful. So yeah,
I've
that's
said this
maybe another.
before. I know a lot about training and programming and jumping higher in performance, and I still would sign up for John's coaching. If for some reason we were not in a
Don't
business
say
together,
that.
I would still be signing up to get coached by John.
Don't tell me that. But to that point, that is probably a good time to remind you that we do have a coaching service. It's called THPstrength. Go to THPstrength.com. It sponsors this podcast. It is the single number one driver of what allows us to do what we love to do, which is help you guys create awesome content. And we're massively thankful and appreciative to the all-knowing, ever-living, omnipotent THP Strength. We're very fortunate to the brand. So yeah, we want to thank you guys. And if you guys are interested, go sign up for coaching. Inflation's going to go crazy here soon, and the prices probably aren't going to go up. You're always locked in. So I always encourage guys to get on it sooner rather than later, because the prices have gone up.
It's like buying a house in 2020 versus now. If you would have bought a house in 2020,
man,
you'll be paying the same mortgage. If you buy THP now, you'll get locked into your price.
You're locked in. There's guys locked into price.
In 2030, it might be $1,000 due to inflation,
which is kind of crazy. I hope that doesn't happen, but that is a potential thing. But yeah, thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed this. Bye-bye. Ciao.